Coach, if you wanted to start with an opening statement.
We played really well, obviously. We got off to a rough start, and you could see the moment almost got the best of us at the beginning. Arkansas is a talented team. We didn't play very well early. They made some shots early, and it could have gotten away from us right there. But the second group of Trey Donaldson and KD Johnson, Chad Baker, particularly on the offensive end, Dylan really settled us down. And I think it was really good for our team to see, hey guys, we're not going to win games on the road if we allow the environment and the moment to sort of get the most of us. And we weren't sharp early. But we hung in there. And then from that point forward, we just played great basketball. I had asked the guys at halftime, one of the things that we had not been doing in the second half is it wasn't just about our effort and energy. I said, I want you to turn them over. I want to try to turn them over because we turned people over a lot in the first half, but not as much in the second half. And so I said, let's just stay aggressive. And we did. Last thing I just say is, Corey Williams was an assistant here at Arkansas, had a great couple of years here and has got great respect for Coach Musselman and Arkansas and Fayetteville. His family was very happy here. And he's on our staff now. And, when you do that professionally, it's always, it's always good when your team plays, kind of basketball that you want to coach. And so I'm happy for Corey in this victory. Also, Chad Pruitt and Corey were on the scout, and they did an outstanding job.
Bruce, you talk a lot about making history. It's the biggest home loss Arkansas's ever had. And, it's only the sixth time Auburn's ever won here. But just, what does that mean to you in this program to do that in your first SEC game of the season? Yeah,
well, that history does matter. And I thought, what's really interesting about the Arkansas fans, they're loyal to the Hogs. They are. But they also know their basketball. And I actually think in some ways they saw some good basketball, the way we were playing. And they stayed till the end to watch it, and we kept on playing good throughout. And so doing it at a place like this, or at, or if you could do it at Rupp, or if you could do it at Tennessee, it does mean more because those are some of the toughest places, in the SEC to play.
Coach, your bench scored over half your points today. What does that say for your depth?
Well, we don't drop off. We go to the bench. We've been talking about that all year. And I've said the good news is we don't drop off. The bad news, we don't drop off. So maybe our starters aren't good enough. But that second group has been really very important. They've settled it. They settled us down. They've been better a little bit defensively. And so I just think that, obviously this win should give us confidence. This should be believe it or not, you still need confidence builders, it's also about matchups, and for whatever reason, we matched up well against Arkansas. We played Texas A&M on Tuesday at home. We haven't beaten them the last 3 times, and that's been a tough matchup for us.
What do you think of rebounds and points in the paint tonight?
Well, Arkansas was big last year. They were huge. The out-rebound is 18 and 13 the 2 times we played them, and particularly in the SEC tournament. And so I thought tonight, we were the more physical team, and that was that rebounding, points in the paint. And I think the key is to defend without fouling. That Arkansas does a really good job of going to the rim, and we defended without fouling. And they missed some shots inside that they normally make or go to the line.
What do you think of Bruin's second half?
Well, Janai had a great second half. He was dominant offensively. But the great thing, and that's what I told him about, even during the first half, he didn't start well. He didn't play well. We're going to go as far as Janai Broom takes us. But the great thing about maybe being on a great team, we don't know if we're a great team yet, maybe being on a great team, is you get other guys you can count on. He has got to start better than that.
Look at your team, and you're a total guy. You got quite a few guys, that got quite a few years under you, 2, 3, 4 years. Blending the new guys in with the veteran guys.
Yeah.
How big is that for you?
Well, it's like, you know, Chris Moore's been there 3, 4 years. Jalen Williams been there 4, now going on 5 years. Auburn's a great place, and it's a place that people don't like to leave. And so we don't have a lot of guys that jump. I think the other thing about our portal guys is Chaney Johnson, D2, hungry and humble. Chad Baker, junior college, hungry and humble. You know, Denver Jones, mid-major. I think those guys have been really big for us coming in. And I think the other thing too is, you know, if you've got a culture in your locker room, and you try to play and work and do the things that God might bless. And if that's what you're doing, then it's easy as long as I keep bringing in good guys, Chris Moore and Jalen Williams are happy about that, because I'm bringing in guys that are good teammates and guys that they're going to make great friends with. And that's what happens when you have adversity, the quality of the people that you have in your program, and there's going to be adversity. We had adversity out there. We could have got run out of here early. We hung in there and got us a big road win.
12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Just show you the 50-50 balls.
Well, Trey played great. Okay. But Aiden also had 5 rebounds. Also played really solid defensively. Couldn't get it going offensively, but you never saw it in his body language. And then when Trey played a little more because he played so well, Aiden's on there, you know, cheering for him. And so that's what great teams do.
Coach, you got a couple in the chat. I got one more there.
Yeah, give him 1 or 2 more.
A couple in the chat. We'll go to Hokinson first.
Hey, BP, you talked about that 11-man rotation today. It looked like it worked for you. When you talk about that second wave being so energetic, just talk about the positive affirmation for you to sort of see what you believe in. Looked like it played a huge part in getting the energy going.
Well, they really did. And I got to tell you, they settled us down. I mean, they really, really did. A starting group was unsettled. And again, particularly Chad Baker offensively just made some big shots and made some good decisions in a really tough stretch. His plus minus wasn't great, but we needed his buckets to sort of settle us down. And I thought, gave us a great deal of confidence. And then Dylan Cardwell, you know, he continues to show that he clearly is one of the best defensive bigs in college basketball. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but and then Janai in the second half, you know, Arkansas got the ball in there, and Arkansas's guys can score around the basket. They can, but they just physical enough and walling them up enough and using verticality and not giving Arkansas second shots. So that's a big, you know, Arkansas second chance points 4. I would imagine if you go back and look at stat sheets, that's the lowest. That's got to be low for them this season.
We'll go to Matt Cohen next.
Hey, Coach. I know you've talked a bit kind of after the App State game. There was, at least it felt like there was some criticism of like why you guys would even go and play at App State. And you talked about why, but I guess now sitting here after this Arkansas game, how validating is it of why you guys went there with what you guys just did at Bud Walton?
Boy, Matt, you just asked my favorite question of the night. No, but I look, and I do think, because I said it right from the night. I said, look, we can't go to App State and not think we can win and then think we're going to beat Arkansas in the first game. Really? So you got to put your team in that situation where we didn't deliver what we had some issues at App State and we weren't able to win the game. But I thought that experience definitely helped us this time around. And so that's why we did it. I think the other thing too, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. And so playing those teams on the road, nobody does it because why don't they do it? Because they're afraid of getting beat and they're afraid they're going to get criticized. And I'm too old for that stuff. And so we'll always try to get every year, every other year, we'll play a road game against a mid-major and take our chances.
All right, Coach, we're good on the chat.
Thanks.
Yes.
Last one.
You guys played with a real edge, and there was some chickiness in the first half. Is that what you were referencing with the?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it was. chippy, it was a little bit, but you know, a couple times we talked and that wasn't good. We won't, we try not to do that again. But we just try to play the game the right way.
Right, that's it.